Hello folks, this is Tom Martin. This is my lottery strategy game, Decoding the Powerball. I'm picking my numbers for the drawing on December 23rd, 2017. I have 7 strategies for my game Decoding the Powerball. So strategy number 1, the game card color code. Okay, so if you've never seen my videos before, what you're looking at is what I call the game card. This represents all 69 white ball numbers in the Powerball lottery. I really don't have anything for the Powerball itself. My goal is to get all 5 white balls correct and win the $2 million prize with the Power Play option. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go to the Powerball homepage. And the 5 white winning numbers that just came up were the 1, 20, 61, 64, and 69. Again, I really don't care about the red ball. Okay, so what I do is I take those 5 white winning numbers and I put it at the top of this list. And then I take the last 3 drawings and numbers and I transfer them over to the game card as red numbers. Then I do the same thing with orange, green, blue, and purple. I have 5 different colors, one to represent each one of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. So for this drawing here, I have 15 red numbers, 10 orange, 20 green, 13 blue, and 11 purple. And these colors change with every single drawing. Okay, so over to the far right here, this 187, this represents how many color code drawings I kept track of so far. And out of this 187, 100 have been a 3-color combination. 69 have been a 4-color combination. 15 have been a 2-color combination. And only 3 times out of 187 drawings have all 5 colors come up together. And never has it been just 1 color, like all red. Okay, so this number right here, this number 3, this tells me how many colors just came up in the last drawing. And you can see that there was 3 blue, a green, and an orange, for a total of 3 colors. Okay, since hardly ever do all 5 colors come up, the strategy is try to guess which one of these colors won't be coming up and eliminate those numbers off the game card. So for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no orange numbers will be coming up. And the reason why is because orange just went on a run of 7 drawings in a row. Plus it's down to only 10 numbers that it represents. Okay, so with those 2 factors, I'm just going to guess that no orange numbers will be coming up. So I'm going to eliminate the orange numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll to the right. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so when I block out a number like this, this means that I'm not even going to consider this number when I'm picking what I think will be the 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be spending $3 on a ticket. Okay, so I'm going to bet that these orange numbers won't be coming up. Okay, so if I'm correct in my bet, then I'm 1 step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 2, the individual numbers. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the individual numbers. Okay, so up top is the master for all the numbers. Okay, and over to this far right are the numbers that just came up. Again, there's the 1, 20, 61, 64, and 69. Okay, so what I did here is I blocked out the 69 with a blue number and the 64. And I did that because of the color code. Okay, the color code told me that these numbers were blue. Okay. So this number right here, this 3, this tells me that this hit 3 groups. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this down so you can see the whole card. And you're going to see that there's 7 groups total. Okay, so group number 1 holds the numbers of 1 through 9. And then it's the teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Again, for 7 groups total. Okay, so there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 2 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it and eliminate those numbers off of the game card. Okay, so how I use this is this big square right here. This is good for 5 drawings. And I like to break things into 5 because usually it shows me a majority of things. Okay, but here I could go back in the history and I can see how many hits were in a certain group within these last 5 drawings. Okay, so if there was very little hits, then maybe the next 5 will have a lot of hits. Or if there was a lot of hits, then maybe the next 5 will have little hits. Okay, so that's how I look at things. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that no 50 numbers will come up. All right, so I'm right here at the second drawing. And the 50 numbers have hit 8 drawings in a row up to this point right here. And it missed the last drawing. So since it hit 8 drawings in a row, I'm just going to guess that it's going to miss a couple drawings in a row. So I'm going to eliminate the 50 numbers off of the game card. So I'm going to go back to the game card, and I'm going to scroll to the right, and I'm going to bet that no 50 numbers will come up in this drawing. Okay? And if I'm correct in doing so, then I'm just one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 3, pick the numbers I hope will miss from group 1. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 1 numbers. Okay, so what I did is I divided the numbers into 4 different groups, and I put colors to them, and now I keep a track record of where the 5 white winning Powerballs land within these groups. Okay, so the last drawing, again, the 5 white numbers were 1, 20, 61, 64, and 69. Okay, so the 1 and the 20 were in the red. Okay, so I put a 2 down here in the red. Okay, there was no winning numbers in the blue area. There's no winning numbers in the orange area. And there was 3 numbers in the green area. Okay, and the 3 numbers were the 61, the 64, and the 69. Okay, so how this works is the 69 shares the square with the 53. Okay, so as I go back to this, you can see that I have the 53 out here to the side. Okay, so the reason why I do this is because of the color code. You know, I could have the 53 scrunched in here with the 69, okay? But I like it out here because of it has a different color to it. Okay, like over here, the 66 shares the square with the 8. So you can see that the 8 is green and the 66 is blue. Okay, so what I'm doing here is all I'm doing is keeping track of groups of numbers and trying to guess whether they're going to come up in the lottery or not come up in the lottery. Okay, so as I go back to this group 1, if I could have guessed correctly that no blue numbers would come up, then I would eliminate the 8 and the 66 as a group. Okay, so for this drawing here, okay, let me go back to 1 second. I have 15 of these option cards here. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess where these zeros are going to pop up, and then eliminate those numbers off of the game card. Okay, so if you don't think any of these numbers are going to come up, then eliminate them. Okay, so my first pick here is going to be, I think there's going to be another 0 right here in the blue numbers. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these blue numbers off of the game card. Now the reason why I'm picking this is because going back through the history of things, there's hardly ever a time where there's been 3 zeros in a row, like over here, okay? So if I follow this blue all the way down, the only time that it ever happened was at the very beginning, okay? So I just think that it's due to come up again and have 3 zeros in a row here, okay? So I'm going to eliminate these blue numbers off the game card. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to the right. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to bet $3 that none of these blue numbers will come up in group 1. Okay, and if I'm correct in my bet, then I'm one step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1. I actually have 5 total picks here in group 1. Okay, so my next one is option card number 3, no blue numbers. Okay, so all these option cards look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green. It's just that the numbers that they represent are a little bit different from each other. Okay, so again, I'm going to think that this is going to run into a 3-0 combination here. Okay, and the reason why is because it's never been 3 in this blue area. Okay, so at least the last one had 1 down here, but this one has never seen 3 zeros in a row, like over here or over here. Okay, so I'm going to guess that it's due to come up, and I'm going to think that there's going to be a 0 right here, so I'm going to eliminate these blue numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Again, you can see there's no blue numbers here. All right, so again, I'm going to bet $3 that none of those blue numbers come up. Okay, and if I'm correct, then I'm 1 step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1, and the next one is option card number 4, no orange numbers. Okay, and the reason why I'm picking this one is because there's been a run of orange for the last 33 drawings here. Okay, so the record for all 15 of these option cards is 29. So this has beat the record by 4 now. Okay, so I just think that I'm hoping that this is going to be due to miss. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate all these orange numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. And again, I'm making that $3 bet that none of those orange numbers will come up, or none of the numbers that are blocked out will come up. Okay, and if I'm correct in my picks, then I'm 1 step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1, and my next pick is option card number 7, no green numbers. Okay, so this is option card number 7, and the reason why I'm picking this one is because this has hit 27 in a row here. Okay, and then it hit 18, and then it hit 22. Okay, so I just think that it's due to have some small numbers like this come up. Okay, so here it is at 3, and I'm just going to guess that this is due to have a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 1 for my last pick, and that's option card number 8, no blue numbers. Okay, so the reason why I'm picking this one is because a lot of times when there's an 11 right here, sometimes it just follows up here. Okay, for some unknown reason like that. Okay, like here's the 4, and right up here, here's another 4. Okay, so I'm just going to roll with that. Okay, I actually think that there's going to be a lot of blue misses, okay, within these option cards for this drawing. So I think that this is a good candidate for the blues to miss. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these blue numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, and again, I'm making a $3 bet that none of these numbers will be coming up. Okay, and if I'm correct in doing so, then I'm 1 step closer to that $2 million prize. Okay, so I'm off to the next strategy. Strategy number 4, picking the numbers I hope will miss from group 2. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call my group 2 numbers. Okay, so much like group 1 where I divided things into 4 different groups, here I divided things into 8 different groups. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so 3 of these groups won't be able to have a winning Powerball number to it. Okay, so the strategy is try to guess which one of these groups won't have the winning Powerball number to it, and eliminate it from the game card. Okay, so I'm going to point out this red section. Okay, I keep the stats for this red section right down here. Okay, so you can see a 0 means that none of the 5 white winning Powerball numbers landed in this red section. Okay, and of course this 2 means that 2 out of the 5 landed in the red section. Okay, so I like to keep track of every 5 drawings. Okay, and that way it will show me a majority of things. Okay, so if there's 3 or more zeros, I color this blue for cold. If there's 3 or more hits, I color it red for hot. Okay, so now I can go back through the history of time. Okay, and if something has been really hot, well, eventually it's going to turn cold. Okay, and vice versa. Okay, so what I'm looking for is where I think a 0 is going to pop up. Okay, so for this drawing here, my first guess is option card number 4. Okay, so I have 15 of these option cards as well. And my first pick is going to be number 4, no red numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the red. And as we go down through, I think there's going to be another 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these red numbers off of the game card. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll to the left. And this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm just knocking them down one by one. Okay, I'm eliminating the numbers slowly here. Okay, so again, I'm going to make a $3 bet that none of these numbers will be coming up. And the 5 white winning numbers hopefully will come up in the colored numbers that are still left on the board. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And my next pick is from option card number 10. And again, I have 15 of these option cards. Okay, so my next one is no green numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the green. And I just think that it's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these green numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2. And my next pick is option card 14, no yellow numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the yellow. Okay, and I think that there's going to be a 0 right here. So I'm going to eliminate these yellow numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going to go back to group 2 for one last pick. And that's an option card 15, no orange numbers. Okay, so here's the stats for the orange. And again, I think there's going to be a 0 right here. Okay, so I'm going to eliminate these orange numbers off of the game card. Okay, so this is what the game card looks like so far. Okay, so again, I'm going to make a $3 bet that none of these numbers that are blocked out will be coming up in this drawing. Okay, and if I did that, if I made all the correct picks, then the 5 white winning numbers should land within these colored numbers that are still left on the board. Okay, so I have more than 5 here. Okay, only 5 can come up. So what I did is I'm going to go off to my next strategy and explain it. Okay, so strategy number 5 is the 50-50 picks. Okay, so what you're looking at here is what I call the 50-50 picks. Okay, so again, there's only 5 white winning Powerball numbers. Okay, so there's going to be a majority of either odd numbers or even numbers, or numbers to the high side or numbers to the low side. Okay, so I like to keep track of that and try to guess what the majority will be for the upcoming drawing. Okay, so over here, there's 231. This is how many drawings I kept track of so far, and that's from October 7th, 2015. That's when the Powerball lottery went from 59 numbers to 69 numbers. Okay, so out of this 231 drawings, 114 have been the majority of odd numbers. 117 have been the majority of even numbers. Okay, so here I like to keep track of every 5 drawings as well to show me what the majority has been. Okay, so as I go back through the history of things, I can see what it has been for every 5 drawings. Okay, so for this drawing here, which I'm right here, I'm going to guess that there's going to be more odd numbers than even numbers. I think this is going to go on a little streak here. Okay, so I'm going to pick that the majority will be odd numbers than even. Okay, and over here to the high and low. So far there's been a majority of 114 to the red area and 117 to the blue area. Okay, so for this drawing here, I'm going to guess that this is going to go on a little run. Okay, and I think that the majority of the numbers will be to this red area, the high side. Okay, so the next one is, I think that this left went on a pretty good run here. Okay, and I think it's going to jump to the right, and now I think it's just going to jump right back to the left here. Okay, and the reason why is because the right side have had a couple of pretty good runs. Okay, I don't see hardly any single numbers like right here. Okay, so I think that this is going to be a single blue, and I think it's going to jump back to the left side. Okay, and here to the red and blue, this is you can see that the red is so dominant over the blue that I'm not sure what's going to happen for this drawing, so I'm just going to leave this one alone. Okay, so over here, this is what I have for the red ball itself. Okay, this red ball right here. All right, so there's 26 of these red ball numbers. Okay, so in this column here, I keep track of numbers, highs and lows. Okay, so if it's a blue number, it means it's a low number, 1 to 13. If it's red, it's high, 14 to 26. And in this column here, a red number means that it's odd, and a blue number means that it's even. Okay, so I could go back through history and look at it and just look at the colors and say, well, you know, this is pretty sparse here in red, so I think that there's going to be a couple of red hits here. Okay, so I actually think that this is going to be blue. Okay, and I think that this is going to be red. So I think the Powerball number will be a low odd number. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the game card here. Let's scroll to the right. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay, so again, I think that the majority of the numbers will be to the odd side. I think there'll be more odd numbers than even. I think there'll be more to the high side than the low side. And I think there'll be more to the left side than the right side. Okay, so off to the next strategy. Strategy number 6, picking the numbers I hope will hit from groups 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm just going to guess at group 2 here. Okay, so I keep an overview of all 15 option cards. Okay, so I'm going to go to the overview right now. Okay, so this is all for just group 2. So again, I have 15 option cards, and they all kind of look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. So in all 15 red sections, this last drawing, there was 10 hits, 5 misses. Okay. In the blue, there was 8 hits, 7 misses. Okay, so the magic number here is 8. Okay, it's right in the middle of 15. So if there's 8 or more hits, I color this red for hot. If there's 8 or more misses, I color it blue for cold. Okay, so this helps me able to predict what's going to be hot and cold as a group. Okay, so if I think that this gray is going to be blue here, then I'm going to look at the gray sections for a lot of misses. Okay, I think that there's going to be a lot of hits in this purple section. Okay, so I'm expecting this to be red right here. Okay, so I'm not sure what the numbers will be, but I think that this will be red, so I'm expecting a lot of hits in the purple areas. Okay, so what I mean by that is, again, all these option cards look the same as far as red, blue, orange, green, purple, brown, gray, yellow. So I'm just going to concentrate on the purple numbers here. Okay, So again, I have 15 of these option cards. And I'm going to go back to option card number 1 to make a point here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep track of just these purple numbers here in option card number 1. So I'm going to scroll to the right. Okay, so here's the purple, and here's option card number 1, and you can see that there's no numbers left on the game card. Okay, so the second one, option card number 2, you can see where these purple numbers are here. Okay, it starts at the 33, and it ends at the 40 here. Okay, so as I go back to the game card, you can see that what's left is the 38 and 39, so I wrote those down right here. Okay, so I did that with all 15 option cards. All right, so 1 to 15 here, and this is what was left on the board. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the strategies. Okay, strategy number 7, picking my numbers. Okay, so the numbers that I'm going to go with for this drawing are the 3, 12, 39, 43, and 63. Okay, so with this combination, this is going to give me 9 hits, 6 misses in that purple area. Okay, so as I go back to the overview here, I think that this is going to be a 9, and I think that this is going to be a 6. Okay, and I think it will be red. All right, so as I go back to here, again, I thought there was going to be more odd numbers. Okay, so you can see that the 3, 39, 43, and 63 are all odd. Okay, I thought more numbers will be to the left side than the right side. So you can see that the 3, 12, and the 43 are here to the left side. Okay, and I thought there would be more to the upper side here. So you can see that the 39, the 43, and the 63 are all in the high side. Okay, so this is how I use my system. Okay, and these are the numbers that I came up with, and you can see that this is a 4-color combination. Okay, so the 3 is blue, the 12 is green, the 39 is green, the 43 is purple, and the 63 is red. Okay, so for the last 3 drawings, it was a 3-color combination. So I just think that it's due to have a 4-color combination here. Okay, so again, the numbers that I'm going to go with is 3, 12, 39, 43, and 63. Okay, folks, if you're interested in my system and you want to play it yourself, you can go to my website at www.patreon.com/decoding the Powerball. Okay, you can find out how to get my system. Okay, or if you like, you can email me direct at decodingpowerball@gmail.com. Okay, and that again is decodingpowerball@gmail.com. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching, and best of luck with your picks.